with GolfOnline with Coach Lockie, Ambassador Coach in the car.
Ambassador.
Morning, Ambassador.
As seen on Sky Sports.
Steady on. So we're talking rules today.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about some of our rule bugbears after the dusting thing. Let's just have a quick kind of brush up on the dusting thing. How was it for you, Matthew? The Dustin Johnson US Open.
Bit farcical.
So what was farcical?
I don't think he made that ball move, like the speed of the greens, dimples, all those sorts of things moving into it.
Yeah.
Ball could always move, and him doing a few practice strokes by the ball, don't think that made it move, to be honest.
Yeah,
and
he's obviously done a million of them in his career, hasn't he?
For the whole 72 holes, it hasn't affected it, has it?
Yeah.
And then he gets that one, so I think it's a bit harsh, and they kind of just covered their backs when he won by 4 to.
It was lucky.
Doesn't matter, does it? If it was like he won by 1, I think it would have been. It would have blown
massive.
up, wouldn't it?
And then what about how they handled it? Obviously, it was very hard.
Yeah, like they came out with excuses that there was a road in the middle of the course and they couldn't get there quick enough.
That is a fact.
Yeah, but
because he had to get 2 people. They had to get 2 people. He went off and looked at it and came back on. Had to get another guy off and look at it. Is what they were saying. I don't think there was any malice involved. I do think lots of people talk as if it was like, you know, them being. I just think it was maybe poorly handled, but a very tricky situation.
Yeah.
I also think that they're very wary of, obviously, that the TV cameras are on it. So if, let's say, it all unfolds and they do nothing, and we all just go with the ruling that was given was there, but then it's clear that he did make it move, then they're going to look even sillier now.
Yeah.
So if you look at the flip side, I always like to look at. You know, I'm not saying they're right or wrong. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate. Look on the other. Do you see what I'm saying? If they'd have done nothing, and then all the telly shows that he actually did nudge it or something. Yeah. Then that makes it even more of a farce, doesn't it?
Yeah.
More of a farce than what it was. So I think it was a very tricky situation.
It was, yeah.
Because no one's talking about the French guy who had a problem with it because he didn't win. So the issue is that. So it's not actually the issue that it moved. Maybe the issue that's making us talk is that we saw it on prime time telly. Yeah. So it's now situation rather than actually a factual rule-based thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because who's talking about the French? You didn't even know the French guy was penalised, did you? No. Lowry was penalised.
Lowry was. Yeah.
I didn't know I didn't know until they showed it in reference to what happened to DJ.
Right. Yeah, I knew Lowry did. And I
haven't heard one complaint from him.
No. And on the last day, they were all saying how much it affected the golfers out on the course, and he got in and was just more annoyed about his free putts, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, I've lost this myself, really. Dustin's just dropped the shot because of the referees or the rulings, but it was all a bit funny for me, really.
I mean, it's one of those situations where you're going to have a good argument on both sides. I watched an interview with the 2 guys who made the rule, and I understand how they did come to their decision. Yeah. There was an amount of evidence that would say that he did make it. It was almost like they kind of called it like a 55% to a 45%, so they went with the 55%, which most people would. I'm not saying that's my opinion, I'm just saying what they said. And I kind of was listening and thinking, well, these are just guys trying to make a decision which is really tough. Yeah. But I do think it was handled. It would have been nice if it could have stopped and all that, so everyone knew where they were. It did kind of fizzle the event a bit. Yeah. Okay, so that leads us on then to we got some. We'll put it out to the audience. Was some of the rules they don't like. Yeah. You've got a rule that you would like to see changed. I mean, Matt, let's go with that.
I haven't really.
You just
I've changed my mind. Yeah.
Well, you had one and you changed it.
I think that the rules are brilliant.
What was it then?
I'm not saying. I think
you haven't, have you? Have you done a little boo-boo?
No. The rules are made and they're like finalised by lawyers and everything, aren't they? Like proper clever people.
Like us.
We're proper clever.
Yeah. No, I understand. What I love about golf.
And I think it's a fair game, and that's it, really.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I've never had a problem with rules. I've had a problem where in a situation that seems a bit unfair, but it's a sport that's got organicness to it. I have no problem. I often find that people who are moaning about rules can't do that shot, or they're not performing how they want, and then they're looking
somewhere else to blame.
Yeah, I mean, the rules are pretty well thought out, as you say.
Thanks. Good point.
Yeah, absolutely, Ambassador. And people ask me this question a lot. When I used to compete, spike marks was one I used to just think, why can't I tap that down?
Yeah.
But then I understand, where does that end? So then, if always with the rules, like I would say I'm a law-abiding person and I will do what you're meant to do. But you'll get people who take advantage of that rule. So they're just tapping down their whole line almost by creating a ridge and stuff. You know, it's like, yeah, I get that would be very hard to police. Like, and it would just slow things up. I'm just doing this spike mark because there's going to be 50 spike marks on a 80-foot putt.
Yeah, there's
I'm just going to be there for half an hour typing them down.
A case of an opinion, isn't it, then,
exactly,
as well?
Absolutely. So, okay, so should we go to the audience then? Because they have got some.
Yeah, bear with. Let me just grab my phone and get the old
I love the audience. We've got one from Raymondo.
Shall we start with Ray's?
No, let's leave this one. This is very let's start. I think we'll come to this one.
Okay, we'll leave that one to the end then. Question from Nick Lewis.
Hi, Nick.
Hi, Nick. For GolfOnline, the rule that a four-ball of elderly people who won't let through two juniors when there is a clear course in front of them.
I like that one. I remember
I guess that Nick's a young lad.
Yeah, and I hear what he's saying. I remember being a junior on a golf course, and I would be there summer holidays early in the morning, where the seniors often feel like they are owning that space because obviously they're there all year through. Yeah. And they wouldn't let me through as a one ball, and I know they're not playing a competition because I know nobody's on there. It's just a social thing. So I would just literally skip ahead of them, you know, like jump a hole and off I go kind of thing. Yeah. But it is frustrating. I do hear you there. I have opinions on slow play, which people I think are often confused with. They seem to think that I like slow play. That's not the case. It's more that I have an opinion with the way people form their opinions about slow play. Yeah. I think that's quite a clever question. Just get older, mate. You know? Just grow up.
Get older and hold the juniors up. That's that rule.
But I hear you. It is a shame. That one is annoying, and I'm a senior. There are plenty of seniors who would let you through as well. But I agree. There are some who they're not letting you through out of principle, aren't they? Sometimes, and it's like, oh come on. But yeah, that's a tough one. There's no answer to that. But just grow up a bit. You gotta grow up.
Next one from Scotty _79. Yeah. For GolfOnline, having to play in a man-made divot on the fairway. Off the fairway is fair game, but on that doesn't make sense.
Decipher. Often tweets don't make sense. They haven't got many characters, mate.
Should be on a plane over from a perfect line.
So he's basically saying if you're in a divot on a fairway, that seems unfair. Yeah. I've never had a problem with that as a rule with you.
It's again the same as the spike mark thing, isn't it? Where do you stop?
There's no way of policing that. No. And I've had discussions with people on Twitter, and the thread just turns into ludicrous. Yeah. It often turns into, oh, you're so confrontational. What? I don't agree with your point, and I've made some really strong arguments to why that's not a good point. That's just a discussion. Yeah. How do you police that? When is a divot fresh, old, new? How deep? From a scrape to, you know, is it bruise of the grass? Is it has to lose grass? And you just can't manage that. No. And when is it just a bit of bad fairway to a divot? I've been in divots, and how many divots do you go in? I mean, it's very rare, isn't it?
Yeah, it is rare.
And it's total rub of the green.
Yeah. You saw it a bit on TV at the US Open this week, didn't you? Did you see the final group? All three of them were in a divot on one hole on the last day.
Oh, were they? I didn't see that.
Dustin's group, yeah.
But it's part of a skill. You've got to learn to deal with it. I've hit great drives and ended up on a massive downslope because there's a hump in the fairway. Yeah. You know, and the guy next to me's hit an average drive and he's in a nice launch pad and he can fly the bunker easily from 220 and I can't because, you know, you just get on with it. I can play a shot from a divot. I'll be upset if I'm in one. I'll be like, oh, that's a shame. But I'm not asking for a rule change. Yeah. I actually have got a rule which we'll come to at the end. I've just realised I do have a major rule that needs changing.
Right, let's pound on then, because that could take a while, yours.
Let's have Ray's then before we go to mine.
Okay, Rory Anderson, your golf travel.
Nice, thanks Rory for posting a question. He's obviously a bit bored this morning.
Exactly. Why isn't out of bounds treated it like a hazard? Penalise stroke and distance versus stroke and drop.
Because you've hit it off the course, mate. Come on. I understand. It's a very thoughtful question.
Yeah.
So explain it for the audience, Matt, because you had to explain it to me to get it exactly through my head.
So Rory basically wants out of bounds to be treated as a hazard. So you walk up to where it went over and drop it 2 club lengths instead of playing it from the tee.
Okay, so just so I'm clear here then, Rory wants planet Earth to be one massive
hazard, yeah.
So if he hits a ball off...
I'm totally with him on this. I'm not going to lie. Get me further up that hole. And I reckon the old slow play police will love this as well. It might even speed up a bit of play, even though if you think it's out of bounds, you can hit a provisional and you speed up doing that way instead of walking back.
Well, here you go. I've played in some corporate days where the long grass is a water hazard. They just mark it as well. I played at the Grove and they've got like hay.
High, yeah.
Because they're growing it for tournaments and stuff. And the corporate, they accept there's a certain standard, so they just go, water hazard everywhere, guys. And I like that. It helps me. If I hit it in there, that's giving me an advantage.
Yeah.
Oh, cheers. I don't agree with that, because the other thing you've got to bear in mind, out of bounds is often somewhere the people who own that course, or the members who own that course, or whatever, they don't want you to hit it there, because it's going into a housing estate. It's going, you know, so it's like, that's out of bounds, guys. Hit away from this area.
Yeah.
If it just becomes a water hazard, you're still playing your sling, and God help everyone.
Yeah.
Chromie's raining down.
They're soft, mate. They don't break anything.
They land soft, don't they?
Yeah.
Right, my rule. Should we end on my run?
Yeah, my arms.
If people continue to make eagles from other fairways,
I knew you were going to say this.
I'm going to have serious problems with this game. It does upset me, and there's no rule that you can do for this, it's more course design. So for instance, DJ hit 2 horrendous shots over 2 days. He hit one in the concession stand with an iron off the tee. Yeah. Perfect lie, compared to the hay everyone else is having to play out of if they miss the fairway by 5 yards.
Yeah.
And then he hits it miles offline where he gets the drop from the tower. No problem with the drop from the tower, that's the rule for everyone. But then he's so far offline, he happens then to get on another fairway. That does wind me up. Someone who hits it so short can never reach another fairway.
So your lack of distance
is upsetting me. That's the crux of it.
And basically, you can't be bothered to try and learn to win it further.
Not learn to go to the gym, but if you were to not say the facts like that, Matt, and just go with my rant, then we'd have all been happier. That's how usually Twitter and that works. There's no logic. Why are you using logic?